everybody, it's Shahrzad, and I just wanted to hop online and talk about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately for a lot of reasons. What I've been thinking about is it has to do with abdominal strength and control for belly dance technique. I've been doing a lot of coaching online recently, and I've been seeing this in some of my students, but it's something I also noticed online. Actually, someone posted like a belly dance meme on a really funny group. They make all kind of memes, but this one kind of made me a little bit sad because it was joking about your love for belly dance overcoming the fact that it makes your lower back hurt all the time. And for me personally, this is a big point as a teacher, is that I think that this dance can be very beneficial to your body, and even people with a lot of different things going on with their body, be it like some problems in the back or some problems in the joints, or there's a lot of things we can do to tailor this dance to each person's body so that people are not in pain. And when you're teaching and executing technique the right way and adjusting it depending on the people's different body types, we can make this dance beneficial. It can strengthen our bodies. It can provide a great amount of almost like therapy for the body if it's done in the right way. If it's not done in the right way and you don't have a teacher who is correcting things that are really important, such as the posture of the back while you do hip movements, you can end up with a lot of issues. I've seen a lot of ankle issues, I've seen a lot of back issues, and it's just really frustrating because most people now are doing this as a hobby. They're doing it for fun, they're doing it to feel good. So you shouldn't have to worry about ending up with pain at the end of the day. We're doing this for fun. It's supposed to be something that we enjoy and we can enjoy together. And if you're ending up with injuries and pain, that is totally counterproductive, in my opinion. So another aspect of what I'm going to talk about has a lot to do with just the way that technique works and appears on the body. So not only is this going to be important for protecting your back, but it's also going to be beneficial for hip technique. There's lots of different technique out there, and a dancer's posture, her base posture, how she holds her torso and her arms, is going to have a huge effect on how the actual technique ends up looking at the end of the day. And a big reason for that is the position of the back and the pelvis. Whether you're in an arched position or a straighter position, this greatly changes the muscles that are working while you're dancing. And I think the biggest problem that I see when it comes to people complaining about pain and pressure in the back is a lack of engagement in the abdominal muscles. Not for actual movements, but just as a base posture. A lot of people lack a basic supportive engagement of the abs, which is going to keep the back in a lengthened position. Now, this is important whether you have more of an arched back posture or a more straight back posture when you dance, because it is possible to still have engagement and still be lengthening even if you have a little bit of an arch. Personally, most of my dance is done with a very, very straight back. So I'm using those belly muscles to hold my hip bones up and my tailbone down to keep a really straight and lengthened posture through the back, so that as I twist and lift and move my hips, I'm not creating pain and pressure here. When the abdominal muscles engage, it takes a lot of the work and the pressure away from the low back. So as a nice neutral position, it's really important to have some kind of control and strength and engagement in the core muscles. For me personally, it's one of the keys to some of my really relaxed looking hip work, because the more I can rotate my pelvis and get work into my belly, the more I feel I can relax in the sides and the backs of my legs for really big reverberating accents and shimmies. So all of that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a really basic abdominal exercise that's really nice for stretching out the low back, and it's really good for getting into the very, very low and middle belly muscles, which tend to be the ones that are harder to strengthen, because so much of the conventional ab work that we're taught really focuses on kind of the upper abs. But really, especially in dance, these ones become really important, especially for manipulating and positioning the pelvis. So we're just gonna do a real basic move. This is kind of a modified Pilates movement. It's based on a Pilates roll down. So I'm gonna sit up on my sits bones. I'm gonna squeeze my legs together. My feet are going to be flat on the floor. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to give levels. So I'll give a easier level first, and then I'll show you what I do as one of the more advanced levels of this movement. So I keep my hands behind my knees like this. This position is very important because you want to be able to start to manipulate this part of the belly without hunching over in the shoulders and the upper back. So when I start this movement, I think about holding my hands behind my knees and almost thinking about pulling down and back here to keep my elbows wide and my chest and my shoulders wide. So I'm going here. Now, without losing this position, which is coming more from lengthening and lifting up the front than it is from arching the back, see? I'm going to start to engage my low abs just to rotate my pelvis and pull my hip bones in towards my belly. So my tailbone is going to go from this position to this position. This is what we're doing using the low abs. So I'm going one, and then I can just come straight back up. So basically I'm trying to C-curve with the back right here, trying to create length as well as a deep engagement of the abs, really coming back and in towards the spine. So you can kind of walk the hands down the legs, still keeping that C curve in as low as you can, and then exhale. When you come up, think about pressing the belly in and the body lengthening up and over instead of just forcing yourself up with momentum. So slowly, we start with small movements. You can assist with the arms, making sure that the collarbone and the shoulders are staying open. Eventually, you start to use the arms in front of the body like this. Again, making sure you're focusing on keeping the collarbone and the shoulders wide. Belly comes in, so your pelvis is rotating to get the sacrum, which is the very, very low part of the spine and back, down into the floor. This is working up to a higher level, rolling all the way down and up with bent legs. And then eventually, we're going to try it with straight legs. This is the more advanced version of the movement. Once you get strong enough, you can start rolling like this. The point of this exercise, the first thing we want to make sure is we're getting that low ab engagement to open this area of the back. As we get more advanced and start coming all the way down, you're looking for sequential movement through the spine. So the low back, then the middle back, then the upper back, and the same, upper back, middle back, lower back on the way up. So this is the full movement here, keeping the shoulders and the collarbone open, and the head stays nice and in line with the spine. Rolling through the spine, and come up. So I just wanted to share this exercise because it's a really good one that you can adjust for different levels. It's really, really good for getting that deep low belly engagement and getting it starting to coordinate with the pelvis so that we can start working on base moves, but also start to get that little bit of a rotation and engaged feeling to keep the low back in a much safer position for doing hip work. It's a great exercise. As you can see, you can take it from a really easy and low impact level, and you can just make it as hard as you need it to be. When you get to the more advanced levels, the full rolling through the spine exercise is really nice. So this is just a basic strengthening exercise that I wanted to introduce and just kind of use it to talk about some of these issues with posture and teaching and things like this. Make sure if you're practicing dance, if you're in pain, try to find somebody, be it a teacher or even someone outside of the belly dance world like a physical therapist, help assess what's going on with your body so that you can find a safer way to do something where you're not in pain, because definitely you don't want to be injuring yourself, and we just want to have fun. So that's about it. Let me know if this exercise was helpful, and yeah, thank you.